Once more the people of Dublin turn out for the parade of Vera's army on St. Patrick's Day.
1939, and as the world plunged into war, the leaders of the Republic of Ireland decided their country should remain neutral. But over the next few years, more than 10% of the Irish army deserted to join the fight against fascism. On their return from war, they were harshly punished for serving in the armed forces of the old enemy, Britain. Dismissed without pay and pension, they were placed on a blacklist, banning them from any job paid for by government funds. Among them, men like 88-year-old John Stout.
I was around 22 or less, but I know the war was over now.
Although he served at Arnhem and the Battle of the Bulge, there was no hero's welcome at home.
We were put down as renegades, traitors, but I know in my heart that we'd done the right thing. We fought for small nations and we liberated the camps that were people being slaughtered. I would never regret it. I'd do it again, all over again.
The government, led by Irish nationalist hero de Valera, called the blacklist a starvation order, and many of those on it, like John Stout, were forced to go abroad to make a life for themselves. Those who stayed found that the Irish state could also take a cruel revenge on their families. Hundreds of the children of deserters were ordered to be taken away from their parents by the courts.
These children were placed into church and state-run institutions where physical and sexual abuse were absolutely rife. And it makes me especially angry because we know from the records that the children of deserters were singled out for particularly harsh treatment.
For years, this chapter of Irish history was largely forgotten, but now there is growing pressure to address what campaigners regard as a shocking injustice. At the Irish Parliament, there are demands for action.
What happened to these men was a particularly vindictive measure. It's a stain on Irish history, and I believe that the government must act with urgency to resolve this matter and to essentially provide a pardon to these men.
There's no mention here at Ireland's national memorial to its defence forces of those men who deserted to fight fascism in the Second World War. The Irish government says it is considering a pardon, but for those who survive, time is fast running out. John Waite, BBC News, Dublin.
Discuss with me, Peter Dow, and other viewers of this video by registering your own username account with the For Freedom forums.